First opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. A shotgun snap for Watson. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That's kind of a double whammy. I mean, the interception on the opening drive, that's one thing. But to give them this field position, that's another.
Absolutely perfect start for this defense. They take the ball away on the opening possession. They know that their offense will get the ball to start the second half. They line them up in field goal position. And to me, they got a chance for a touchdown right here out of the gate.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 30 on second down. Fields buying time to his left. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Fields. Flushed out right. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. The kick by McManus is good. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Watson. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Hunter Renfrow there to make the grab. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And Deshaun Watson, and when you think about the toughest quarterbacks in the league to game plan against, he's got to be in your top 5, does he not?
And when you talk about game planning, putting him in the top 5, that's an easy call because he can make every throw. That's not an issue at all. He has great touch delivering the football, but that mobility, that added dimension, when he escapes the pocket and those receivers find their way open, short, medium, and long, he finds the right guy. Last but not least, his toughness. He can stand in the pocket, take a hit, and deliver. There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Now it's Watson. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. John Johnson with the INT. And the Packers will take over possession here up at the 44. So more problems here in this 1st quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Fields. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A nice completion there for the 1st down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game, has his team run the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. To throw is Fields. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big connection on that one. 32 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll run with Dobbins. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd and goal, Fields flush to his right. Touchdown! It's complete. Randall Cobb, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by James Bradbury. And into the end zone, it's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well. Yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if and my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Packers are going to take over here up near the 40. And I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. So, CD, big changes for 2021. Of course, last year we had the expansion from 6 to 7 teams in each conference making the playoffs. This year, the headline, the addition of a 17th regular season game. What did you think when you heard the news that this was happening?
Well, my first thought, partner, was finally, because we've heard about a 17th game coming for a long time, and now here it is. So the beautiful part about all of it is that 17th game is going to be like these interdivision, interconference type games that are going to match up and play out over a 4-year period. And that's kind of cool. And I was looking forward to seeing some of the matchups that were going to come out of that for that 17th game. And could that be the game that decides a bunch of division titles?
They'll run. It's Dobbins. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. On 2nd and 9, Fields. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Fields. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in his first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from him?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field?
Ooh, with a juke. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and power it home here with a fullback Johnson. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Packers are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that. And now here's another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
And can you believe it? He misses another one, his 3rd so far. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today. They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? A pretty good effort there, 9 yards, but not enough. We'll likely see the punt team now on 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now Cobb to return. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to lose yardage. Not that it matters as the final seconds tick away. So we've reached halftime here on opening week. We send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
43 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Right back to Dobbins on first. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw here complete into the hands of Ertz. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend, sure that he's right.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now a Louisiana native is starting nearby LSU. It's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It was Cameron Jordan who came in and got him. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Play action. It's Fields. Throw left side, taken in by Renfro. On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now Dobbins. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields. And he'll find his target. Woods, it's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Here's Fields. Eluding the pressure right. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. And the defense rises to the challenge. They get him down for a loss of 2, and it brings up 4th and goal. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. So with a 4th and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And McManus able to put it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Watson's throw going into the hands of Williams. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 27-yard line. Again, it's Watson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. There he goes, right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
McManus's point after is good, and that will extend this big lead. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And now here's another interception. Picked off by John Johnson. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
The Packers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 76 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Yeah, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense is they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Green Bay, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.